need to survive this moment because I'm not naive, and I know that we need to survive now. So we are being the worst team maybe in history of Manchester United. I know that you want headlines, but I'm saying that because we have to acknowledge that.
So Ruben Amorim, the coach of Manchester United, says that this team is the worst in the club's history. Obviously, we're going to get into that in further detail. Before we do that, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And definitely get in the comments because I want to hear your guys' opinion. It's been a very difficult time for a lot of us Manchester United fans. So, definitely want to hear your thoughts and let me know what you guys think. So, I've obviously sat on this. The game was yesterday against Brighton, 3-1 at home defeat. So I've sat on this for a little bit and thought about it. And do I agree with Ruben Amorim, number one, and number two? Do I think he should have said this? The answer is yes to both of those. This is probably as bad as I've ever seen it. Consistently in the bottom half of the table and, just played Southampton and Brighton, no disrespect. Really, did we deserve to, get anything out of any of those games? Really? I mean, not really. And Southampton, they're going to get relegated in last place and we were at home. And, there was who looked like the relegation team other than them? So we're in a very, very difficult position. And I think honesty is key. I think Ruben Amorim is someone that obviously Manchester City were interested in. And he's coming into this club and basically his CV is getting ruined. His CV is getting ruined like a lot of previous managers. The same way Van Gaal's CV got ruined. Mourinho's CV got ruined. Ten Hag. Manager, Ralf Rangnick. The same Ralf Rangnick that for Austria in the Euros did quite well. So I just think that, this is just what we've become. I think Ruben Amorim saying that is good in my opinion. Because you look through that team and you look through that group of players, and how many of them are Manchester United players. I've been obviously watching this club when legends have been here. Legends, David Beckham, Roy Keane, Ryan Giggs, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Legends have come through this club. Denis Law just passed away. We did a tribute for him. Sir Alex Ferguson on the pitch before the match. And these players think that it's acceptable to go 1-0 down after 4 minutes. And, you see that, the history and the tradition. And, you think it's acceptable to put in that performance. What are these players even made of at this point? I think Ruben Amorim made those comments and they're embarrassing. They're embarrassing comments and players in world football will hear that. These players go on international duty. They talk to each other. And, some of their teammates internationally are going to say, oh, you play for Manchester United. Didn't the coach just say you're the worst in the team's history? If you're a Manchester United player, if you're a player of any pride, that should hurt. But does it hurt these players? I'm not sure. Look at Luke Shaw, for example, someone that has got absolutely no problem throwing a big New Year's Eve party. Where is he now? Nowhere to be seen. Marcus Rashford, Jack dropped for the Manchester derby, instantly goes to his agent. I need a move. I don't want to be at Manchester United anymore. Nowhere to be seen. This is the character of this team. This is the character of these players. Look, De Ligt makes a good tackle against Arsenal. All of a sudden, I'm hearing Manchester United fans talking about how good De Ligt is. He's not that good. We need to stop this. We need to stop after one performance saying that these Manchester United players, they're good enough. Bruno Fernandes, awful for 18 months. Had a good game against Liverpool. Played decent against Arsenal. Against Brighton, he's back to his usual self. Captain of Manchester United. What has Bruno Fernandes won internationally? Nothing. He's won nothing internationally. The most Bruno Fernandes has ever won in his entire career is a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup, in which that Carabao Cup final, he was awful in that game. So this is what I'm talking about. In world football, we need to get real now. We need to understand that we are not that club that we used to be. I'm looking at players, I'm watching Aston Villa against Arsenal. Rodgers in that midfield is better than any midfielder that we've got by a mile. Brighton, Solly March coming onto the field. Tariq Lamptey. Lamptey's better than any wingbacks that we've got. Look at Mazraoui. Mazraoui was great when he first came in. Now he's allowed the rest of the group to basically almost infect him, and now he's at their level. So I think from top to bottom, we are just in a mess. We are in a mess, and there was a deal on the table for Sheikh Jassim and the Qatari ownership to come in to clear the debt, all the mistakes that the Glazers made. They were going to get rid of the Glazers, clear the debt, and it was going to be something new. And instead, we've got Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his group that, failed failed in France. And, really, what are they doing? What players are we signing? Your manager that you just appointed, that hasn't had a transfer window because, you kept Ten Hag. So, this manager hasn't had a transfer window. I don't see you bringing in any new players for him. The communication is January is a difficult market. So, if you couldn't afford, what is Sir Jim Ratcliffe really doing? Because, we're not paying certain charities anymore, all these layoffs, Casemiro not playing because of his high wages. It seems to me all he's trying to do is just cut costs. You can't just come into a club and just cut costs and all these things. You've got to spend the money. This team needs another billion spent on it. It is a mess. This team is all over the place. And I don't think that we're going to get relegated. But this season is a write-off. We're not going to do good in the Europa League. The FA Cup, bar a miracle, I don't see us winning that. And the Premier League, I mean, this will probably be the worst points tally of all time. It will probably be worse than Ollie and Ranić. So, very, very difficult for Manchester United. I think it is quite shocking that the managers made those comments. But I think he's disappointed because, like I said, this is his CV. He's someone that didn't even want to come in the middle of the season. He wanted to come in at the end of the season. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe basically said it's now or never. So you've said now or never to a guy, and then you're not even backing him in January with his own players. So very, very difficult situation. I really don't want any of the blame to go towards the manager. I don't think that that's right. I think this is someone that, is dealing with a group of players that, are not fit to wear the shirt. I don't think we can really judge him until he brings in some of his new players and we can see if they can fit into his system. Because as of right now, this group, there's no way they can fit into his system. There's just no chance. So, like I said, let me know what you guys think. Always interested to hear your guys' opinions. So thanks for tuning in. And as always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely see you guys on the next one.